So the ogive, that's what you can see here. So we've got our group data. So you'll notice that this data has been grouped into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. And if you go across from the end of the top class and you read across to there, you'll see that there are 40 pieces of data. Now remember that when you draw an ogive, you need to plot your dots at the end of each class. So you can see this first class ends between 54 and 55 and a half. If you had the table in front of you, you'd be able to see it's 54 and a half. One of the things we sometimes forget when we draw an ogive is how to peg it down. And you'll notice that this number over here is the... I didn't do that very well. Let's try that again. This number over here is the beginning of that first class. So it indicates that there are no numbers before that class. So your lowest point has got to be in the class interval 49.5 to 54.5. Then the other tricky thing that we always seem to forget is how to read off the median and the lower quartile and the upper quartile. Now this is where this differs a little bit from when you're working with your raw data. If you had a whole list of scores, remember you'd go n plus 1 divided by 2 to find the position of the median. But when we work on an ogive, because it's group data, all we have to do is go just n divided by 2. So in this case, remember what we said. We said that we had 40 pieces of information in my group, so we read it off over there. So if you take 40 and divide by 2, you get 20. So you find position 20 on your y-axis. You're going to go across and read off. So we can say that the median is approximately 66. Now in the same way, you can find the lower quartile by taking 40 and dividing by 4, which gives us position 10. Well, a quarter of 40 is 10. And again, you're going to go across to your graph, read down, and it will tell you that the lower quartile is at 62. Similarly, you've got 3/4 of 40 is 30. So in the 30th position, and down, you're going to read off that your upper quartile is 69. Now remember, something else you might be asked to do from here is to draw the box and whisker. And remember, box and whisker, the little boxy in the middle, just comes from your lower quartile, your upper quartile, and your median. And then we need a maximum, minimum. And in this case, we use wherever my last point was. So 80 for the end of my whisker. Other whisker is going to end, where was my lowest point? Down here. So we're just going to be in line with that 49.5. Now, you'll see that normally we'd put a scaled number line below the box and whisker. It's a bit yucky over there. But because my ogive has got a scaled number line and we're drawing it directly below, we don't need to worry about that. So that should help you. And I'll also put a link for a full set of notes on the entire section, straight from the Education Department's mouth, on Edmodo. So look it up if you want the full lot.